Ladies and gentlemen, I am on a plane. This is not appropriate. I shouldn't be doing this. But I just finished watching Severance, Season 2, Episode 1. I'll talk to you when I'm back, okay? Okay? I have people looking at me.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back off the plane, back from Vegas, lost a lot of money gambling, had some good dinners, all the stuff. But now I wanted to talk about Severance Season 2, Episode 2. Sorry I'm late, guys. Couldn't get out the video prior to now, so just wanted to give some quick thoughts, I don't know what the heck that word means, but just some quick thoughts, I should say, on the episode. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it because I'm a little late to the party here. But Severance Season 2, Episode 2 was a lot of what I wanted from the second season already so far. I'm liking literally everything they did with this. I really so far have nothing but positives to say about Severance Season 2. I'm just glad we finally got to see all of the Outies in their own states outside of the big reveal that we had in Season 1, episode, I think it was 9. So we did get to see, we got to see Heli, we got to see Irving, we got to see Dylan, we got to see exactly what happened immediately after the she's alive thing in episode 9 of Season 1 with Mark. All of it was just so freaking cool to see, and I'm glad we got a lot of it. It's also interesting to me what they're doing with Miss Selvig and what they're going to essentially be doing with her and how the whole Miss Cobell story pans out, because what we got to see in this episode was Heli, essentially, now that we obviously know that she's related to the people, I forget the Keir people, I think, or the Egans. Is it Heli Egan? Is it Heli Keir? I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out all the little details of the show. Whatever. We got to see Heli promote Miss Selvig or Miss Cobell to be like overseer of the group. I don't even know what you call it, but that was a really interesting reveal. A lot of it was just, it was a really good episode. It was really great to pick up where we left off and see all of this dynamic. And what was one of the most interesting things for me about this episode was seeing Heli, the real Heli, seem like she has this emotional value to what happened. And it's not clear yet whether she's going to be a force of evil or a good force within the story. And that is something I'm very excited for, because as we know, her Innie is a good person. Her Innie now is, I think, embarrassed by what she learned when she did the whole thing and was on stage. I don't know what you call it, and I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but that whole thing on stage, I think it really did affect Innie Heli. But then Outie Heli also seems to be affected, just in a slightly different way. And I don't know what that means for the story. Like, does it mean she's going to try to stop Severance? Or is she going to be like a big bad in terms of the story? I cannot wait to find that out. I also found it a little interesting that we got to see the backstory of what happened in those 5 months with all of the main crew leaving and then eventually being brought back, and how that played out, because there was a lot of theories based off of episode 1 as to what Mr. Milch was going to do, what the entire organization was going to do about what happened. And it's really interesting to see things like Mark S coming out of that and it kind of not going anywhere. Like, there wasn't really seemingly any fame from this, so that was all a lie by either Mr. Milchick or the board in general. And just all of those elements were just really, really solid. It was a really good episode. And I gotta say, I wore an outfit this weekend that I thought looked like Mr. Milchick. I'm gonna play that for you right here, just so you see that real quick.
I feel like Mr. Milchick with this outfit on.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
I feel like Mr. Milchick with this outfit on.
Scary, isn't it? I know, because I did it, and I'm a little concerned that I did that. But where I was going with all that is I just like what we got in general with it. I liked, and the reason I brought up Mr. Milchick right there is because I liked that we got to see him and see him going around to all of them, firing all of them, and then bringing them back. On top of this lie that they internally planted on the innies that they're famous, and all of that has inspired the company overall, like Lumen, to change its ways and all of that stuff. That was an interesting thing to see. It's an interesting thing to explore. And I don't know where that's going to go, but it did raise an interesting question for me in that, is Mr. Milchick and Miss Cobell like constantly severed? I don't know, because when things and push comes to shove, it seems like Mr. Milchick just like lives at Lumen, which makes me think he's a 24/7 employee, which makes me think he's severed, but I could be wrong, because I don't know how that works, but they've already explored within the show that it's possible to have people who are severed, obviously, outside of just the Lumen building. We had the politician's wife who had a baby while she was severed, things like that. So, like, people operate in the real world this way. Is Mr. Milchick one of those people? Is Miss Cobell one of those people? And just that's why she, like, worships Kier and all of them at her home? I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting. The show just keeps me on my toes, and I don't know what's gonna happen next. Like, I genuinely have no idea. But yeah, I thought this was a really solid, look into all of our characters' backstories on the outside world, now that they know what happened, and now that they're kind of by force, based on their innies' actions, they're being forced to learn a lot more about Lumen, and it's opening up questions about what they're going to do. One thing I did think was pretty interesting was seeing Dylan try to apply for another job where the owner clearly hates the idea of being severed. I loved that, and it opens up a whole nother can of worms, because that essentially means that these innies are kind of trapped. Not really, obviously, like, they could get jobs. It's not impossible to do that. It's just, it's putting them in a predicament where they need to make money. They need to, need their health insurance. They need all of that stuff. So now they're kind of in this weird spot where it's like, okay, well, I did this procedure that's irreversible, and I have to live with that, but that means I should just stay severed. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very interested to see. Okay, that's my thoughts on it. Wanted to keep it short, but I did want to ask one thing. I just discovered recently that Lumen's headquarters is filmed like right by me, and honestly, it's also the show in general. A lot of its filming, almost all of its filming locations are in New Jersey. This is a New Jersey show, whether they pinpoint it as it or not. That's where it's filmed. If you want to see me go to some filming locations, definitely let me know. I think I might do that, but I'd love to hear from you guys if that's something you want to see on the channel. Yeah, let me know your thoughts about Season 2, Episode 2 of Severance so far. And with all that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching this video, and until the next one, I'll talk to you later. Peace out.